Welcome into the official SCFC podcast. I'm Kaila Brins-Hefner here with Marvell and Sal Zizo. Welcome to episode 5 of the official SCFC podcast.
Thank you so much. You were out there in Charlotte, weren't you?
I was, yeah. Just got back.
I love that. Yeah. And Salzies, where were
Sal?
you?
I was watching it from my laptop like always. Actually, I might have put it on the TV this time. I might have had actually some time to sit back and watch it. So
you had TV with your 4 kids around?
It. MLS season pass.
Oh, look at you.
Got
TV
it.
control, nice.
Yeah, and so watched it from the comfort of my couch and was pretty, obviously disappointed with the result. But we can get into that in a little bit.
Yeah, I just would love to hear you guys' initial reactions, thoughts to the match versus Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there was quite a lot to talk about. Obviously, the result, disappointing, right? 3-0. We did talk about how it would be probably their toughest test. I think that held pretty true. Charlotte looks good. I mean, they have some really talented players. They look especially really good at home. They have depth, obviously, when you can bring a guy that's played over 200 Premier League games and Tim Ream off the bench, due to an injury of another player. That's pretty impressive. But a little interesting. I mean, we can get into the tactical side. I thought, they did change up a little bit, not only the starting lineup, but also a little bit of how they were going to approach the game. I felt, obviously with Paddy McNair a little bit, they had him on the left side, but in build out, I think he looked more like, a left center mid. They kind of built out of a 3, which was slightly different than what they're used to with sending Loffelson pretty high. I wouldn't say that's necessarily the reason why it got away from them. I think you go down 1-0 and then you give up a pen and get a red card and it goes down 2-0. I think at that point, the game's pretty much over. But I want to see what Marv, what you thought about just like the tactical adjustments and personnel adjustments that he made.
Tactically, it looked more like we were getting away from, what got us the success at the beginning of the year. So I would say it was the way we play when we had pressure coming up the back and we like to draw on the pressure and we play out of it. I thought that was kind of our superpower as a team, giving us a tactical advantage. But now it was less about using our superpower to our advantage, and we try to go for using our superstars as our advantage, where it's more like instead of us building up out the back, it's as if we get the ball in the back, and then we look to play it forward. We look for a lot of over-the-top balls. We look for a lot of runs in behind, which obviously has a time and place, which is why I think this is still a learning process, because in the beginning of the year, it was almost at times like, all right, we're playing it around like too much. Like we can go forward, but now we're kind of seeing how quickly we can go forward, and now we got to find a nice balance of when to release those certain players. And just how the players approached the game, it was, I say chippy. It was very chippy straight from the beginning. I mean, maybe we were trying to knock them off their game, trying to get into their heads, but Charlotte was able to pull through. And they showed really well at home. I mean, it was everything that we knew they were going to do. There was no surprises, but they pulled it off.
Do you think, and I kind of have my own reasons, and we haven't talked to any of the coaches yet or anything, but do you think the shuffle up, getting Reyes in at center back, putting McNair a little bit more of a left back, but also more of a stay-at-home left back. Again, they built out of a 3 from what I saw. Do you think that was put in place there because they're on the road? They're playing against a team that's also very good in transition. So it's like, hey, let's play. But if we lose the ball, we have that extra center back type player who can kind of sniff out these attacks. I mean, logically, that makes sense. I just don't know if the players were able to adjust to like not being in typical spots that they were used to.
Yeah,
I think that's maybe the best way to kind of say it.
Yeah, I know you made your way to the back eventually, and you know how shuffling up a back line is always kind of a risk, especially as center back, because center backs kind of run the game. When you're in the back, you're usually a unit. You're more connected than you are anywhere else on the pitch. So I'm not saying that these guys didn't, train well, train hard, train to this type of situation, but it becomes difficult when you're away at a team that might be approaching the game a little differently than what you've practiced. So I'm sure they would probably look for more, can we have more speed in the back? More than center backs, more athleticism, more get up for the ball, try to nullify certain points of their attack.
Yeah.
But in doing so, once you get a yellow card for the center back, then you have them the last man behind. that's the risk you take. And then obviously this is the kind of thing that happens. But
Yeah.
I did see the tactics. I saw what they were going for. And honestly, maybe 9 times out of 10, we don't get the result that we did today.
Yeah.
But today, I mean, they just kind of came at us and they capitalized on their chances for sure.
Yeah. So I want to go into, you said it was a second yellow in 6 minutes, right? And for me, I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, but they're both going, right, for the ball. They're both tugging each other. He's pulling his jersey, and Reyes makes an attempt at the ball for sure. And in my opinion, almost, it looks like gets the ball to me. He wraps around, he makes the tackle, crazy tackle, right? Mm-hmm. But if that call isn't made and then he goes to the screen, is he giving a pen after watching that? Like, what do you think? For me, I don't know. I part of me is like, I don't really think that's a foul. I for sure didn't think it was a straight red, which is what he first gave him, right?
Right.
And then obviously he goes back and he corrects it, and people were giving the ref praise for kind of enunciating exactly what happened to kind of better understand a lot of the fans. I think the fans like that, which I liked it as well. But just in general, like, do you think that's, a pen? Because again, the second yellow or straight red, no chance for me, because he makes an attempt at the ball. But yellow card penalty is what was ended up being, but happened to be a second yellow. So do you think, like, hands down, that's a penalty?
I would say hands down, no, but I can't really fight the call.
Okay.
Like in my head, if we're going to be looking at VAR, if we're looking at, what foul came first and whatnot, it looks like there are players pulling on Reyes' jersey way more than he's affecting
almost
his play.
At the start too. So like, if you can take away penalties from a play that happened earlier or a foul that happened earlier that wasn't caught or something, I don't know.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking if you want to really call the foul, if you really want to bring the video back to the beginning of the play, it looks like he's pulling Reyes' jersey way before Reyes even makes a challenge on the ball. So then if you just let that play out, then you go into the box. I mean, because he was the last man, it's going to have to be a call because it was in the box. I mean, the call does make sense, but I mean, if we're going to go to VAR and we're really going to see where the fouls began, I think it's outside the box and it goes the other way.
Yeah, and again, if it's in the first half. So as a former player, at that point, it's like, look, he's in front of me, he's about to score a goal. I don't want to give him a pen and get, knowing that you're on a yellow. I don't want to give us a man down plus probably give them a 2-0 lead, right? If you're going to give them a 2-0 lead, at least let's play even. I think we've all seen SDFC being able to come back from games like that, even being 2 men down or 2 goals down. So, just a lapse. It's happened to all players. I've had red cards. Sure. I don't know, Marv, have you had a red card?
Yeah, I've had a red card.
Who was it on, Marv?
Sal,
but we looked it up. So I was the first yellow card.
You were the first yellow of the game.
He got.
You made me mad. See, it was a center back getting a yellow.
He 2-footed somebody else for the second.
That's
yellow,
a lie.
So.
Actually, was it? I don't know.
We'll pull up the highlights in the next pod. Don't worry. Well, you mentioned Andres Reyes. He gets his first start for San Diego FC, first appearance this year since he's been injured in the preseason. You also mentioned some of the lineup adjustments that Mikey makes. He had some great post-game comments just about the decisions behind those and what the overall goals in that is. So I think we'll just play it out loud.
Yeah, one of our goals early from the season has been to make our squad as big as possible. And at the end of the day, we made, I made decisions to rotate some of the team because I trust all the guys that we put on the field, and I think that this investment will definitely pay off in the long run. In the short term, somebody could say that it cost us, but starting with the same lineup every weekend also doesn't guarantee you success. So for us, it was very intentional. We believe in Andres Reyes, and he's been working his way back from an injury, and this was a good opportunity for him to come in and start getting rhythm. He didn't get any of those preseason games that the other guys got. We trust him 100%, and at the end of the day, I'm happy that I made that decision. I know that it costs. I know that some people might think that it cost us, but at the end of the day, I'll always go back to you never have anything guaranteed in life, and we did this intentionally to make our squad bigger because we trust these guys, and we believe that this will pay off
for me, what stands out is the word trust, because as a player, Marv, I was, I don't know about you, but I was always kind of in the starting lineup, a little bit on the bench, sometimes didn't get it in at all. I was always fluctuating throughout my entire career. So when he talks about it benefiting the team long term, I 100% agree with that, because San Diego at the start now has played one game every week, right? So you get all this rest. You can pretty much play the same starting lineup all the time, but there's going to come a point, when they start playing in all these different tournaments, where there's going to be Wednesday games, there's going to be Saturday games, and there's going to be short weeks and all this stuff. And if you're putting in a bunch of players that are making their debuts in these games, the results aren't going to, be the best. And so it's better to kind of introduce some players here and there now to then benefit you in the future. And they've talked about, having depth, having to be able to, if there's injuries, or to be able to play a variety of guys at different spots. And so a game like this, people can maybe think, if they had started the original, De La Torre, if they started all these guys, right, Godoy, that maybe the result would have been different. But I agree with Mikey. I think you have to switch up the lineup, because it also keeps the chemistry in the locker room well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, there's certain guys that busted every single day at practice, and if they're not getting minutes over time, it starts to kind of dwindle on you a little bit. And so I think he rewarded those players probably, and he's going to continue to do so. And I think that's the step in the right direction.
Yeah, to kind of bounce off what you were saying about people thinking that they train so hard, but they're never going to get a shot. Yeah. The morale kind of dies down, and then it's a little bit infectious. Maybe somebody else isn't getting playing time, so now there's two people that think, I'm playing as hard as I can, but I'm never going to get a chance for one reason or another. What I like, speaking on to trust as well when it comes to Reyes, is that he's well aware. Like, even watching the game, it wasn't as if I'm watching and thinking he's a liability. Yeah. He's not going to do well. It was one of those games where the ball doesn't bounce the right way. The foot doesn't get right to the ball before it takes out like another foot. I mean, it was just one of those things. In no way is it, he is a solid player. Yeah. Just that this game is just, he had a couple of calls that went against him. Yeah. And it did hurt us. But again, that trust aspect is important. I can only imagine for him as a player. I've had games where I've got red cards as well, and go into the locker room, they give you the pound in the back. They're like, all right, well, you're not going to play next game, so let's see how hard you work and see if you can earn your way back to the starting position. So I like everything Mikey says, and it makes sense to me, and it's something that I would want to hear as a player, whether it was me getting sent off or if I was in the locker room.
You speak on building depth. We also have some roster news this week. The club announced that they've acquired defender Oscar Verhoeven on loan through the 2025 MLS season from the San Jose Earthquakes. The player who's come up through their academy. He's 18 years old. It's a homegrown to San Jose. Joining this squad, he was out in training today. Gonna get some more depth there.
I mean, for me, it's just further solidifies, what SDFC is about. Talking about getting a lot of young players, giving them minutes, growing them into household names. I think this is another step in that direction.
I think he's seeing certain weaknesses where before, when the season was starting, it's like, we're scoring a lot of goals, we're getting a lot of opportunities, but we're also getting scored on a bit as well. So this looks like he's actively trying to fix certain weaknesses that he may think we have. At the same time, I got to say good luck to this guy, because, it's like changing teams, right? It's always kind of a new feeling. You're always kind of nervous. You're not exactly where you're going to stand and all that stuff. So, or how the players are going to treat you. But it seems like this squad is not only about, being together, but also about adapting the style of play to everybody that comes through and helping them feel comfortable on and off the pitch. So we welcome him, and good luck.
Yeah. I mean, I know when I was 18 years old, when you were 18 years old, we were going to UCLA. Mm-hmm. So still a super young kid. He's now kind of making what probably we felt at the time, like going away from home for the first time, going to a new club, and to do it at an MLS level is pretty high. So good luck to him. Yeah, I wish him well. Hopefully he gets some playing time and thrives.
Awesome. Well, we're going to have so much more left in this show. We'll have an interview with Ema Boateng to talk about how he's come through the Right to Dream pathway to San Diego FC. But also, before we wrap up, I want to give a shout out to everyone who attended the watch party presented by Dios Azul at the Soap Factory. It was an incredible atmosphere. You got to see performances from Rossi Rock, an incredible soccer tournament brought to you by Barrio Junto, as well as some good performances from our supporters. Really great activations there. So really appreciate the support and everyone getting behind San Diego FC.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, everybody, this is Darren Smith. I host a radio show called SDFC Midweek Live, you could hear it Wednesday nights, 6 o'clock on San Diego Sports 760 and anytime on the iHeartRadio app. Join me, Adrian Garcia Marquez, Warren Barton, SDFC players and staff. It's the only hour on local radio dedicated 100% to San Diego Football Club and the beautiful game.
Being a right to dream gave me the best chance of making it as a professional soccer player. But what stuck with me most are the lessons that I learned while I was there. Lessons that I'm able to apply to all aspects of my life today. Right to dream pushed me out of my comfort zone to achieve something bigger for myself and for my family. I learned the importance of hard work and embracing competition.
Here with Ema Boateng, forward for San Diego FC. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate
Good
it.
seeing
Happy
you,
to
buddy.
have you. Welcome to the pod.
I remember when he first got into the league.
Yeah, talk about that. You guys overlapped a little bit in the
We
league.
did a little bit. 2016, when I was in San Jose and he was in LA. Yeah. So we had the what is it? What's our classical called?
Was it Cali Clasico?
The Cali
Got it?
Clasico. Yeah, that's
Mark
us.
couldn't remember it, so
I got the
I had to think about it. I had to think about it for a
I was
second.
like, I know the answer, but do you know the answer? Yeah. So I remember you back in the days,
Yeah,
man. It was yeah.
Marvell's a legend. Came in the league. He's one of the guys that, you had to go and, go against him a few times and try to test yourself. And he was always gracious after games, saying some nice words. So it's good to bring it full circle back here, working together. So
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of words communicated between us, but there's a level of respect. You can go against someone, you can go against you can be rough, you can be physical. You can obviously if you square up against somebody, you challenge them, but it can be done in a certain way where it's after the game. Good luck to your respect. Yeah. So always there for you, man.
two speedsters.
Yes.
Speedsters going at it.
Yes.
Who's faster?
My legs are just longer.
I think right now I haven't been, but back then he was
I think my leg would fall off. I can't do it.
Ema, you've had a long MLS career, and obviously even before that, a really great journey with Right to Dream. Just kind of walk us through everything to what, took you to San Diego.
Yeah, I think Right to Dream has been a part of my life basically since I was, 12 years old, got recruited to go there. There's about 300 kids that tried out that year in 2006, I believe. 300 kids that showed up to the camp. There was like maybe thousands of kids that tried out all around the nation.
And they kind of narrowed it down.
It down. 300 good to come to the facility just like it was here a while ago. And then we trained there, lived there for 3 weeks. And after that, they cut it down to 16. So the 16 were together for 3 years, playing games, training, going to classes and all that. And it was really tough, to get into the academy back then. And it still is now. Now it's even harder for the kids because they're not just recruiting in Ghana, they were recruiting in Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and all that stuff. So
All still going to one academy?
all going to one. So the Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, and Ghana, they all, if you get selected, you live in the academy in Ghana. And then obviously there's the academy in Egypt and Denmark, hopefully here soon. And so the 16 of us played and all that stuff. And after 3 years, I got a scholarship to come to the U.S. and go to high school in Santa Barbara, which was great for my development and academically challenging. And I had to find ways to do extra in soccer to try and keep up with the level that I wanted to go to. And throughout this whole journey, I've always had Right to Dream kids that would also come to my school. Like Joshua Yarrow came to the same high school as me a year after. Now he's playing in St. Louis, and lots of guys that have come through. And actually just this Sunday, I met with a bunch of them for Easter Sunday, some Right to Dream guys, and we all had some Ghanaian food together. It was really nice, yeah. So yeah, it's been part of my life, and I was really excited that there was an opportunity to come play here in San Diego and have Right to Dream here too, and find a way to, try to give back to the kids all the lessons that I learned through Right to Dream and try to be a resource for them any way that I can. So it's just been a whole big journey with Right to Dream, and I feel like it's going to be with me for the rest of my life through the contacts and the people that I've met.
Talk about a little bit about so you came from Ghana, how was that atmosphere, then going to Santa Barbara, right?
Yeah.
beautiful city in California. Like, what was that like? A transition.
It was a big transition for sure. I was lucky enough. Again, the couple of the guys that I just saw on Easter, Nana and Fifi. Which Nana, I think they're really actually trying to recruit him to come here and work with the academy here. He has his own like soccer club that he runs in Santa Barbara, and they're trying to get him out here. He's helping them with scouting. So he was a great resource for me. Fifi bid in, and there was maybe 4 or 5 guys that were already in Santa Barbara. So I just relied on them a lot. Like, hey, like, what should I be expecting? You know, like they just had made mistakes, and they were just trying to be like, well, don't do this, you know. Try to help me out throughout. So that was really great. And my host family was huge too. I think a lot of times, a few of the guys when they come over, feels a little bit, you know, we're always very goal driven, and you see the guys, if you start talking to these young guys, like, we know we come from a different background, so we always like just going towards success and don't really have much time for anything else. Like, you know, very nice guys, but we won't like try to go over the top to like come socialize when there's like homework to be done and stuff like that.
It's like they have tunnel vision.
Yeah. But my host family really helped me out with that. They really made me settle in. 15 years old, moving out of my country and moving here, and my host family was there for me every time, picking me up for every soccer practice. They never missed any. I think one game all throughout high school that they missed. Every game, like if we're playing in San Diego, Orange County, they're waking up at 5 a.m. driving me over just to come play the game, and they really helped me settle, because without them, it just really feel like I'm, you know.
How was that host family found? Like,
so when the few guys had already come over to Santa Barbara, my host dad had gone to like soccer games and stuff and seen them and seen they had host families. So he spoke to the Right to Dream representative. I think it was Debbie Foley back then. And it's like, hey, if there's another kid that's going to come up, we're interested in hosting him. So there's always like 2 or 3 families that were in the waiting, like, hey, we've seen, you know, the impact that these kids had made in Santa Barbara, just by, you know, their work ethic and everything. I would want a kid like that in my family. Maybe my kids can feed off them like that, you know, try to gain a different perspective of, you know, somebody that has lived a different life and stuff like that. So when I came in, my host family was already waiting. The first day, Debbie Foley picked me up to her house, and my host family came over, grabbed me, and it helped really well that they also had like 2 sons very close to my age. Everyone was actually 11 days older than him. So we played on the same
club
teams and high school. And I had a younger brother, Dylan, who's 3 years younger. He's a goalkeeper. So just us in the background, just like shooting at him and all that stuff, him making saves, and we're all making each other better. And younger sister is Chloe, and she just wanted to introduce me to everything in America. She's like, have you had marshmallows before? I'm like, I'm like, no, I haven't. And then she has it, like, you know, trying to make s'mores for me. And as I'm eating it, she's like, have you tried salsa? I'm like, no. And then she's just like pouring salsa in my mouth. So I have marshmallows, chocolate, everything. She's just like, anything I can feed this guy.
That's great.
That was great. And, you know, that and a lot of things just like opening my worldview. And, you know, they would have friends over and just like interacting with them, trying to learn about the culture. So that really helped me like assimilate into the culture a lot quicker than I would have if I was just here by myself.
Yeah. Shout out to host families and everybody's support system. You know, you can't do it alone, right?
100%.
Another thing another question that I had when it comes to the Right to Dream was before I was asking, like, if you were introduced at 12 and then you get recruited to Ventura, like our UC Santa Barbara, is it like, is there a graduating class? Do you necessarily ever graduate from Right to Dream, or is it more of a lifestyle as well as a play style, and it's more about a personality that you intake and then you help to share it with others?
Yeah, I don't think you ever graduate from it because of the connections that you make, you know. So like George Shoyaro just had his wedding a year and a half ago. I was at his wedding. He couldn't come to mine because he had a baby. He was expecting a baby that
selfish.
week. Yeah. I know. Leave the baby.
Yeah, with the baby coming out of him, what's the problem?
Exactly. But a few Right to Dream guys were there, Fifi, Badin, Waid, and we just all stay in contact. So sometimes you might lose a little bit of contact depending on like who is the head of Right to Dream in Ghana. You know, maybe the teachers or like the head of pastoral care that was there when we were there had moved on, or like some of the kids had moved away. So you feel like, maybe those guys are not around, but like it's very as quickly as talking to somebody, like one of the guys that you knew, and then they will let you know like who the next contact is, and go back to Ghana, go to the Right Dream Academy again, meet the guys, and then all of a sudden you form the different relationship with like the new generation, and that keeps going on and on and on. So there will be times where you feel like you can, be a little bit off it and focus on what you need to do, and just like with the contacts that you have, but you can quickly get back in and everybody will just welcome you. And it's crazy how like you go back there and like it's changed. Obviously, I left there 2009, so there's not a lot of people that are there when I was there. And you get there and everybody already knows you. It's they're just telling you about like stories, stuff that you used to do while you're there, and like they just keep sharing a lot more about the graduates, so people know you and you always feel welcome when you're back there. So it's just a continuous journey. The connection just keeps it going, so you never feel like you're graduated and out of the system.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So then you went to UC Santa Barbara, right? And so did you know much about college soccer, before coming here? Was that always the plan to do that?
Well, the plan obviously was, to play soccer.
Yeah.
I had a great opportunity to come to Kid School, and that's an education you don't
Education
turn down.
is very key, right?
It's very key. And on top of that, I was still getting training. Right Dream also had a partnership with Man City back then. So every summer I was going to Man City and training with the U15, U18, sometimes get thrown into the first team training sessions and getting that exposure as well.
Right.
So that was good. Sorry, I forgot your question again.
So most of the kids end up going to either professional or college, you would say. So were you, when you first came to Santa Barbara, was the goal always, okay, I'm going to go to UC Santa Barbara and then I'm going to go professional? Or was it something that just kind of arose after a year and you're like, okay, maybe I'll go the college route instead of the professional?
Yeah, I think I wanted to go professional right away.
Okay.
And that was like, I wanted to do it like by sophomore year. And I was feeling good about myself. I'm like, I'm good. I'm ready to go and all that stuff. But I was lucky enough. I had a lot of like smart people around me. My host dad was like big in that. Like we had lots of conversations where he's like, take your time. You still need to develop. It's good you're playing at this level and you feel like you're the best player. So naturally you want to make the next jump, but make sure, you get your education as well. So he was just like, at least get me 1 year and go to college for 1 year. Yeah. So get your foot in there, know how it feels so you can always like return back to it. And he was big in that, our headmaster, and the school was really nice in a way. So my junior year, I was basically at that point, I was just like, guys, like I have to go pro. And they're like,
ready to go.
Well, give us 1 year. Your junior year, we will make sure we have like extra classes for you to take. So when school was done and like it wasn't soccer season, I was taking extra classes while everybody was doing sports and trying to make sure I get enough credits to go to college. So after my junior year, I had enough credits and I went to UCSB. And the goal there was, be here 1 year, do as well as I can on the field, as well as do well in education. And after that summer, I looked for the next opportunity. And that's when...
So you were at UC Santa Barbara just 1 year?
Yeah. Okay. So I was there 1 year and then I signed professional in Sweden and, kind of like forgot about education a little bit. But I know like, at some point this is going to end and try to figure out the next step. So the last 3 years I've been taking classes online. MLS has a partnership with University of South Carolina.
Okay.
So just taking classes there and hopefully graduate next year and have my college degree as well. So
what are you studying?
Good luck to you.
Business administration. So hopefully everything is done next year and, start preparing for the afterlife because, at this point I'm 31, probably another few years left. So.
You're looking at us. You'll be posting this in 5 years. Hopefully longer.
Yeah, so that's all great. And, again, still have a lot of help from everybody around Right to Dream and my host family and everybody encouraging me to do it. So it's been great.
Earlier in the show, we played a clip of, your speech from the ribbon cutting ceremony here. Mm-hmm. What was it like for you to be able to be a part of such a huge moment for Right to Dream in San Diego with your background and what it means to you?
Yeah, I think I was happy to help out in every way that I could for that. I knew that was a a big ceremony. Actually, I didn't know how big it was. Tom Penn told me, it's like, oh, just, prepare like a 1-minute speech and, just say something. I think it'll be great for people to, you will be there. So it'll be great for people to hear from you. And then Vicky texted me the night before. She's like, I think we're going to need like 5 minutes. I was like, oh God, but I actually have to write something.
Yeah, there's going to be like 2,000 people.
Yeah, exactly. No, she didn't even say that part. So I, got on my computer real quick that night around like 9 p.m., try to write a speech. But it was a little bit easier because I was just talking about my experience with Right to Dream. So just going back and thinking about how it was. And I show up and, thinking again, it's just going to be like a sort of a press conference with a few people. And it's like 300 seats lined up, big cameras. Yeah. I'm like, oh God, I got to get ready.
It's better you didn't know.
I know. So just showed up in the moment and, I was happy, just shared a little bit about how it was growing up in the academy and how different it is now. I think back then we just did everything based on like, all right, there is a dream and there's a hope. This is what I want to achieve. And then now these kids got world-class coaches, the best training facilities, teachers helping them out in the classrooms and all that. Like this, they have the top class. And now they have like over 50 to 100 graduates that have made it either by going the academic route and, have really good jobs or professionals playing for the national team and that. So I think it's a lot more like they see it a lot more clearer now instead of like imagining what it could be.
Sure.
So it's just really like, the word I used, I think in my speech there was like it's leaps and bounds beyond what it was back then. And it really is.
How does it feel like you get to be a part of kind of that graduate class that's able to mentor the new generation that's coming in here in San Diego?
Yeah, I think I love that. I'm really looking forward to that, once the kids are in here, because exactly, I saw them training a few times when they were here for their trials, and they were the exact same age that I was like going in. So I can see everything going on through their heads. What they're thinking and everything. And so I think I'm just going to be around and really happy. I've already told the teachers, the coaches, like anything that you guys need me for trainings. Usually this is the time that I'm done with trainings around 2. And if you guys need me anytime between then and when, they have dinner, I'm always happy to step in and help out in any way that I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was just going to say how, it sounds like when you were given that opportunity with 300 kids and they picked 16, it was like, you knew the opportunity that you had ahead of you. But now, to come full circle, not only do these kids know that they have an opportunity, but they get to see someone who progressed and got out. So do you have one piece of advice that you would have liked to hear when you were growing up that you give to these kids? And do you, maybe you don't understand how great it is to actually have someone that has been there and is where you are now to help them out and to succeed. So I guess my question would be, what advice do you have for them? And also, if you could change anything about the Right to Dream from when you started off, would it most likely be if you had someone that succeed, come back and, get under my wing, take my advice, youngin?
100% that. I think my advice for them right now is just that the opportunities are there. Like, you don't have to worry about that because everything here with your education, the nutrition, everything's going to gear you towards like, we're just going to make you like a professional athlete. You're also going to get an education. And, when the time comes and whichever one feels right to you or, makes sense to you and your family, and when the decision comes. So they shouldn't worry too much about that part because we worried about that, every day. Especially being in Ghana and there's 16 kids and every year. So for the next, like once we turn 15, there will be like 2 or 3 guys that will get scholarships. But that's also depending on if the schools here have room to like, get you in. And the following year will be another trip for like, another 2 or 3 guys. But then the rest of the guys is just like, they have to wait till they're 18 and turn pro, or they might not get even an opportunity to turn pro. They might just have to be like, all right, well, you're 18, we have nothing for you. Because back then, we didn't have like Mr. Mansour helping. It was a charity organization. So they couldn't they didn't have enough funds to like support everybody.
Yeah, their reach has gotten so much bigger now.
It's so much bigger now. So like back then we worried about so much like, oh my God, I gotta make it in the next. And I still want them to have that. Like you want to be the first to like make it out of your group and all that, but not to worry too much about that and just focus on your development. Develop every day. Like do your homework. Can you do something extra? Because that was like something that was really big in our group. Like it was never easy just doing like what is required of you. Every teacher will come in like, did you do your homework? You're like, great. And they're like, and then what else did you do? They always ask, and what else? So like, can these guys have that mentality of like, okay, the coach wanted me to do 10 laps today. And okay, after I'm done, like what else am I doing? Like what can I do to make myself better?
Above and beyond.
And I think that was something I really learned in the academy. And even when I came here, because, not to, like toot my own horn, but when I came in as a 15-year-old playing in like club soccer and stuff, I was better than everybody that I was playing against. But I still had that mentality of, oh, there's some kid probably like in England or like in Mexico that's getting great coaching and doing 12 laps. I shouldn't be doing 10. Maybe I should do 13 to be better. Just create that imaginary person. If you feel like you're on top of your group, always create that imaginary person somewhere else that you're chasing. And I think that's probably the biggest advice I'll give them. Always think about what can I do next. But yeah, the buddy system is also great. And I think Red Dream's already doing that. I think Karsten is trying to hire guys that have already been through Red Dream, have the experience, just to try and bring that culture back here. Because it's starting new here. And he wants like the coaches and some of the guys that will be in the dorms with them are all... He's trying to get Right to Dream people here. So that will naturally come. And we also have Willie here. I'm not the only Right to Dream guy. And he lives right here too. So can just walk from his hotel room into their dorms and, trying to straighten some kids out. So that's all great. And we are all like really, really excited to be a part of this and help out.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Having some teammates also that have come through Right to Dream, not only just in Ghana, but also globally. Do you guys talk about that at all?
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. And it's funny because Willie had left the academy in 2009. And I think he got there maybe 4 or 5 years after. So it's just funny trying to like compare stories and like how it was. And I'm telling you, these guys had it so easy. They had the best life. Like, they got the Nike gear, everything. They go to preseason in Spain. I'm like, no, like we had one trip to like Manchester every summer. And we went and it was like 2 weeks, play the games, you're back. These guys would go to Spain, train, get the exposure, like the best facilities. Come back, and then the next time they're in Denmark, and then they're just traveling all around, and it's just like amazing, like what it can do to you, like as a kid, like developing and trying to have all that world experiences, and had chefs in the academy. Like when I was there, like on Sundays we didn't even have a chef. Like one of the kids had to cook for 60 kids. Really? Joshua Yarrow was 14 years old. He knew how to cook, so he would cook for the entire academy. But
wow.
This was
I played with Josh and I did not.
You did?
He didn't cook for you.
No,
so I was like one of the guys that would go into town, make sure I get some of the groceries, bring it back. Joshua and one other kid will cook for all 60 kids at the academy. And this was when it was like really tough in the beginning. Like we didn't have funds all the time. We knew there was potential. Like we need to work hard. There are great people in the US, in the UK that were donating to help the academy, but it wasn't enough to have like a full-time chef there the whole time. And Sundays, Joshua would get in the kitchen.
Look what it's become now.
I know. And then now these guys have like smoothies before breakfast, they got all these stuff, like supplements, everything. So it's amazing where it is now. And, Mr. Mansour has done a great job. And you can tell too the success that I come from it. These guys are going from the academy to like 3 years from then being in the Premier League or like, La Liga, League One and stuff like that. And so that all shows like, getting the right support from a guy like, the Mansours is just really changed everything up. Yeah.
In your speech, you also mentioned that you guys used to cut the grass before matches on Saturdays.
Yeah.
Did Willie's class have to cut the grass?
No, they did not. They had a mower. Somebody would come do it for them. Yeah, we would train Monday through Friday. And Friday afternoons, everybody in the academy would get on the field and get machetes and cut the grass ourselves, so it's fresh for like Saturday.
Just down with a machete.
Oh yeah, with the machete, yeah, cutting the grasses, yeah, making sure it's all good. And part of that was, again, the resources weren't enough, so we had to go other places, like making sure we had better teachers and stuff. And part of it was also to teach us, like, to take pride in what we have. Like, this is our field, this is the field that we're gonna play games on. Let's make sure it's like in the best, it's looking the best for like the games and stuff. And then when we get there on Saturday mornings, like, and we're playing whoever we're playing, man, I didn't cut the grass for you to come do some skills on here. Like it's on.
Well,
like,
like in MLS when you do your warm ups off to the side, and you see all the pitter patters and all the fields messed up right there. I bet they were like, hey, we're warming up over here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just like we would get there on Saturday mornings, and it was always like so fun. We know all the work that we've put in, just us training, but also like, man, we cut this grass. We're not about to let you come in here and like, win on our field. Like it's so it's a lot. And Willie didn't have to do any of that. He just came in, just chilling, go to training, work really hard, but they didn't have to do all the extra stuff that we did back then.
No, you trailblazed on that. And it sounds like, you can't be cutting the grass out there like that and not build yourself some character.
Exactly.
That's a pride in what you're doing. So
exactly.
you're just gonna come out of there just feeling like granite.
Exactly.
You're just a rock and solid with a group of people that if you guys were just on a team, that sounds like a community, if not a family.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine why you guys still talk about it to this day, because you guys are probably all been through some pretty strong similar experiences.
For sure. It's a lot of lessons that we learned, and I can't wait to like impact it on these guys out here. I don't think I can get them to cut the grass because we got some great people taking care of the grass. Yeah, I know. Nate is not even gonna let us on there. He's like, no, you guys are gonna mess this up. Like, I got this. Like, stay away from me. But just looking forward to being here and being a resource and helping out these kids.
How's exploring San Diego been like for you?
It's been great. Yeah, so far, just our chef here was giving me a lot of recommendations on restaurants around town that I've been to. It's been great. And just still exploring. My wife has been in and out of town for work and stuff, but every time she's out here, we try to do the most, like, go to the beach, hang out, try new restaurants and stuff like that.
What part of town are you living in?
UTC.
Okay.
Yeah, close to the mall. So
I'm all
they're in
nice.
La Jolla.
The outdoor mall?
Oh, yeah.
A lot of
It's
fun.
nice, yeah. Might be a problem though, because my wife just goes down there every time.
Honey, I'm gonna go out for a minute. At that where? Hold up.
Yeah, exactly. But it's great. It's good. 35-minute drive to training is not too bad. And then when you're home, it's nice. Just good place to walk around and just kind of chill a little bit.
Do you have any favorite activities or anything that you guys have done? Any favorite restaurants so far?
Amalfi Lama is right in that mall. It's pretty good. I think we went to Anime as well. It's right next to the Grand Hyatt. I think that was probably one of the best restaurants we've been. Yeah, over here in San Diego.
Awesome.
Do you want to move here when you're done playing? You're gonna keep your roots here.
It's been great so far. My wife has always, I met her in 2020. And I think one of our very few dates, like, I asked her where she wants to live, like if she were to pick one place, and it was always San Diego.
Yeah.
So it's kind of great that it worked out, and we're here. She's loving it so far. So hopefully, this can be our home for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Here
welcome
at Santa
you.
Barbara, there's worse places you can be.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah, you guys can show me the ropes. And,
Yeah.
Deal. Literally.
Yeah. Literally. So.
We'll be down there. Yeah. So it's been great.
Well, Ema, thank you so much for joining the podcast. We really appreciate your time and your insight on your journey to San Diego.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And, you guys are doing a great job. I see all the clips on Instagram and following with everything. And, I think it's great for what you guys are doing and letting the community really, get to know the players and the ins and outs. So happy to come on here whenever you need me.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks for
All
coming.
right.
Become a season ticket member with San Diego FC and never miss a moment with guaranteed access to all home matches. Membership starts at just $40 per match, and you get the best value with amazing benefits. Visit San Diego FC/memberships to learn more. Marv actually has season tickets, so that's something you can.
True. 2 of them. If anybody has somebody that just wants to go with me, let me know. Because my mom keeps bailing.
As the official specialty insurance partner of San Diego FC, Palomar offers standalone earthquake insurance that protects property and peace of mind. It's crucial to be prepared. Visit plmr.com or contact your insurance agent for a quote. Palomar, reimagining specialty insurance with innovative, creative solutions.
And welcome into our match preview presented by Alaska Airlines. We have some new merch that we can share with you guys. Yeah. So this is really cool. For those that are viewing the podcast, you can see, but for those who are not, we have a new partnership with Melon Hats, a local San Diego company. Really cool to be able to get to work with them to put out our logos and our branding on their hats. Really awesome to be able to collaborate with a local team. So you'll see this available soon to purchase, but exciting to be able to get to work with local and lift up local businesses in San Diego.
Varieties, super nice.
Yeah, grab one, grab all. Super nice.
All right, let's get into match preview. We've got RSL, the first time that we're going to see a repeat team this year. So we got a little bit of intel on them. We can at least talk about what we've seen in the previous match. What are your thoughts on just looking at what we have coming up?
Well, just based on our previous match against them, playing away, scoring 3 goals away, and even going down initially and then working our way back. If there's going to be another team or a similar team where we can get some more shots off on goal, show how we can dominate a field again, especially back home, I think this is kind of what we need in a situation like this. Right now, 2 difficult away games. Now we got 2 home games. Then we're going to Salt Lake. We kind of know what they're going to come at us with. From the way we've been playing recently, we might, kind of throw them for a loop in terms of what we're going to bring at them. So, it might be a difficult team to do some scouting against, but hopefully that works to our advantage and we'll be able to, get another W back home. We haven't lost at home yet, so we just want to keep it going.
Yeah, and for me, I think, this game is super important in a sense of keeping the results kind of headed in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to, a game that we should win, right? Because Salt Lake's a team that's been struggling. Of course, it's never easy to play a team again in the course of a season and then beat them again. I can think back of when I was at Red Bull, we played a game where we beat NYCFC in a rivalry game 7-0. And literally a month later, we played them. I think we lost 2-1. So it's never easy, even if, one game can go one way, another game can go another way. But as Mar mentioned, we're at home now, and that's you got to keep that. You got to keep that as a fortress, and you have to get back to playing your style of play and start to dominate the game again, get a big result, and keep that going, and do the same thing against Dallas, and then kind of keep heading in the same direction. Because, at the start of the season, if with 0 games played, 4-2-3 is where we're at right now. I think we'd all say, okay, pretty good. Not amazing, but pretty good. We're from a result standpoint, right? The eye test has proved I'm even more excited than just that. So, from a result standpoint, it's going to be important to get the W for sure against a team that, like I said, is starting to struggle a little bit and lost their last 2 games.
Yeah, I think what's impressive too about this team is the expectation is to win. They're not content with a draw. They're not obviously not content with a loss. This is the first time that San Diego is going to be coming off of 2 consecutive losses so far this season and coming back home to a place where so far they've remained undefeated. I really liked what Captain Yepe Tverskas said in the post-game presser after the loss at Charlotte was they don't want to show that type of performance at home in front of a home crowd. They want to be able to get back and to get back to their style of play and winning football. So I think it'll be good to have these 2 next back-to-back home matches to kind of be able to see if we can get back to kind of what we're used to, which will be exciting.
The winning ways, the style of play, all that. Flow with us. Let's see it. You know?
Yeah, you got to respect the man that comes out and says, we know we played a certain way, and this isn't the norm. Don't get used to it. We're going to stay on top, especially when we go back home. So respect there.
Earlier kickoff time this week, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, as opposed to our usual 7:30 p.m. kickoff. It's also Sustainability Night, our Woven into One Planet night presented by Palomar. First 10,000 fans in the stadium will receive this rally towel made of sustainable materials. Marv, you want to give them a demonstration?
I like this little rally towel. Let's go.
Let's go. Really cool. There's going to be some great activations there. Reminder, with the earlier start time, the gates will open at 3 p.m. Also, Fan Fest will be moved a little bit earlier, 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. We also have really cool merch of the match. Sal, you want to show them?
Put that up right here.
So this is San Diego Magazine, our feature story on the launch of our club. Really cool cover art shot by local photographer Matt Furman. This will be available on a t-shirt that will be available for purchase at the match. So also an option to be able to pick up something that's super commemorative for this inaugural season. And then we'll also have the One Planet shirts.
The pregame shirts that are like the sand color.
Yeah.
I saw,
really cool.
SDFC posted that. Yeah, I love those. Those are going to be cool.
Yeah. That's a cool initiative from the league. They're also made of recycled materials, kind of all into the theme of sustainability. Happy Earth Day, everybody.
Hey,
But make sure you check out all the different options for being able to, support SCFC and our local artists, our local merchandise as well. This will be available soon. But really appreciate the support and everyone that has been pouring into the podcast and the reviews, the comments.
Yeah. Don't
continue
hurt
to
Marv's
subscribe.
Ego. Keeps posting good things, giving 5 stars, all that stuff.
Protect all of our egos. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe.
Before you give a bad review, just look at Marv's face. You can't give a bad review.
Thanks all.
Thank you. Flow with us.
Flow with us.